Support for the show can be you. Go to patreon.lux.b and sign up there to get access to ad-free shows and a lot of other behind-the-scenes goodies. Lux Media just relaunched the merch shop, and there's a lot of new stuff going up all the time. Shop.lvx.be and get yourself hooked up. Patreon subscribers, that's patreon.lvx.be, get 20... Alright, another ooky spooky session begins. This is your reading for the week of February 16th through the 22nd. So before I start, I want you to get your inquiry, your query, question, whatever word, get that clearly in your mind. Now, my suggestion is always to think of it as a little ball, a box, something that you can move. And you move it to your mind's eye, that spot right between your eyebrows, just a little above that, right between your eyebrows. Have your query there as you hear, watch, listen, whatever. All right, so cards this week. Our starting energy is the Queen of Cups. It's a very good card to get. It's a compassion, intuition, and someone who's supportive. Our struggle card is the inverted Two of Swords. Not so good. This is indecision, anxiety, and hesitation. In our focus position, also not a good one, the inverted Ace of Cups. This is blocked creativity or general gloominess. How is this something to focus on? Well, tune in. You'll find out very soon. The discard position has the inverted Nine of Wands, another not great card to get, but given what it is, it's in a good spot. So this is stubbornness, defensiveness, unwilling to compromise, that type of sentiment. In our spiritual exercises down here, we have the Queen of Pentacles, another good card to get. This is someone who is nurturing, a bit of a homebody, and is good at comforting others. So, last one, self-care, is the Magician. Fucking excellent. This is someone who is resourceful, strong concentration, and is able to manifest their desires into existence. So let's do the tarot stuff, and we'll get the supplemental cards in a bit. So, like I said, very good card to get in our starting energy, this Queen of Cups here. This is a card that represents compassion. Like I said, it's the sort of sensitive, nurturing tendencies. We often use these to help other people, but it's given the other cards that we have in the spread, it's important to keep in mind that this kind of patience and compassion can be directed inwards, and you'll see why in a moment. So our struggle this week, the Two of Swords, inverted. To put it in a really blunt phrase, it's a shitty dichotomy. The card represents having a hard decision to make with no good outcomes on either side, but something needs to be done. So the most important thing to remember when making shitty decisions is to not just remember why you pick what you pick, but to also keep in mind why you didn't pick the other thing. It's important to have both of those pieces in mind. Focus card. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second. The Ace of Cups. Now, this is emblematic of heartache or emptiness. It can also, but for our purposes, I'm going to reference it as blocked creativity. So our focus this week, in addition to fighting through the difficult choice that we have, is to use our compassionate nature to examine what is blocking our creativity or whatever the source of our negative emotions is. So in the discard slot, we have the inverted Nine of Wands. Now, usually, like I said, this is stubbornness or defensiveness. And like our focus position here, it's going to take a lot of patience and grace with ourselves to examine why we're feeling this way and work through it. So could it be that our unwillingness to adapt is the cause of our creativity block? Just food for thought. In our spiritual exercise position down here, this week it's similar to the energy card that we got at the top, which is to nurture and comfort ourselves as we deal with the issues that are in front of us, whatever they may be. The Queen of Pentacles is a reminder. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have a hard time deciding between two shitty options, or three, however many shitty options you have. It's okay to have a hard time picking. Lastly, our self-care. It's like the top of this is like the entire top part of the spread, all all in one. The Magician is a symbol of power, of true desire, and commitment to pursuing that true desire. So in the context of the reading, I take this to mean that our desire for positive change is what's going to push us through the shitty, muddy field that stands between us and resolution. So, to summarize it, we have to dedicate ourselves to giving ourselves grace and understanding as we examine why we're reluctant to let go of the things blocking us from our true potential. Fun. Ooh, all right. Give me just a second here. Take a break for just a quick second to... First of all, thanks. If you're listening to this or watching this, then, I appreciate you being here. Two things. One, if you don't want ads, patreon.lvx.be. Get yourself set up over there. It'll also give you some discount codes every month for the merch shop.lvx.be. Mentioned that up top. But the one thing I wanted to talk about was, as I've gotten better at doing tarot, I've come across other people who they're able to do more holistic readings than I can. I can do cards, as you can see, you'll see when the video cuts back. I'm good with the cards, but there's a lot of other things that can be included, like lunar cycles, astrology, obviously, different types of numerology. Like the numerology I use is just on the card. So, I don't know. If you want to get something more, samira.lvx.be. I've gotten a reading from her. She's fucking fantastic. So I obviously wouldn't be recommending it if I didn't believe in it. So there you go. Check that out, samira.lvx.be. Get yourself 20% off and help me out a little bit in the process. Because this operation is not fucking run. It doesn't operate for free, unfortunately. But there you go, samira.lux.be. All right. Now, for our supplemental cards, we have it's a similar message. Honestly, I call them supplemental cards because, like, not just because they complement the tarot, but like the message here is like fucking spot on. So the Sixth Instinct, energy medicine. Now, it's simply put, it's that we can self-correct the situations that were outlined in the tarot spread. We can examine what our creative block is. We can look at this really shitty situation and make a choice, even though it sucks. Either way, it's gonna suck, but it's time to make a choice. And that we can do that with just our own energies. It's also like that's also what the Magician is about. That willpower. Angel number 1122. It's also called the Great Shift. Now, the message of this card is that it's necessary to make serious changes around ourselves to hold space for what's on the other side of the discomfort that was outlined here. So, the cartomancy, just the regular old playing cards, it's the Six of Spades, or Six of Clubs. Well, it's a card of positive changes being just ahead of the current uncomfortable situation. But it's also a reminder, like, that the suit of clubs is that of action. So this is a reminder that we have to take the reins of life and have a stronger role in leading it in the direction that we want it to take. And lastly, the true intention: uninterested. I think that it's funny just when you put it that way. The card says, I prefer to keep my focus on my own life right now. And I think that the true intention is a bit more of a rude way of saying what the queens are saying, which is that we should be focused on nurturing ourselves through all of this bullshit right here in the middle. And we got to really commit to it, because we have to use our own energies to overcome that shit. Positive changes are just on the other side of this fucking bullshit. So there you have it. That's the week. I think, look, this all this stuff lines up pretty nicely, doesn't it? Well, if it seems too good to be true, I assure you that it is not. If you go to patreon.com/lvxmedianet, it's the same handle that we use everywhere. You can see the video of how I put all of this together, all of the shuffling, all of the card selections, like how all of this comes out. You can see exactly how I do it from start to finish. You'll see every single second of it, every frame of it, because like the way that this shit lines up, it can get kind of spooky. And yeah, this is Ookie Spooky Sessions, and they're fucking living up to their name. If you want a personalized reading, I'm good with the cards. I can do these. I don't know what they all mean off the top of my head. I'm getting better with it, but it takes a bit of time to get to that point. But if you want one, I offer them for free. If you go to luxmedia.net, go to the spooky button, or hit the spooky button and fill out the form there. And don't be a fucking advertiser. Could you not fill that form out to try to sell me shit? Thank you. That would be much appreciated. Fill it out. You can pick whatever deck you like, because I feel, because we're not in the same room with each other, that it's important for the artwork to be your representative, as it were. So there you have it. Personal readings, Patreon, righto. That's it. I will see you next week. Same Ookie time, same spooky place.